Today we continue Saṅkhārakkhandha, volitional formation aggregates. 50 mental states are collectively called volitional formation aggregates. Among them, 5 are called factors or jhana factors. The first jhana is accompanied by 5 jhana factors. Those factors are vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, and ekaggata. So you need to remember Pali. They are all mental factors. And the first one is vitakka. It is translated as initial application. That means initial application of mind to the object. In the discourses, the word vitakka is used to mean thought. In Abhidhamma, it does not mean just thought, but a mental factors. Mental factors that mounts your mind onto the object, that takes your mind to the object, or that direct your mind to the object. That mental factor is called vitakka in Abhidhamma as a technical term. In the suttas, you may find vitakka used for thought, like Vitakka Santana Sutta, how to dispel distracting thoughts. Vitakka is a mental factor that takes your mind to the object. Without vitakka, it is difficult for the citta to take the object. Sometimes the object is wholesome, sometimes the object is unwholesome. So unwholesome object, vitakka call the mind, come, we go to this object. So for the yogis, the objects are wholesome and you direct your mind to the wholesome object. Many cittas, many consciousness need vitakka to take them to the object, but there are some that do not need vitakka. Vichara means investigating or pondering upon. Or something like that. Here, vichara does not mean that. Again, it is here translated as sustained application. First, vitakka takes your mind to the object. Then vichara keeps your mind there. So vitakka and vichara are 2 different mental factors which are concerned with taking your mind to the object and keeping it there. But it may seem that vitakka comes first and then vichara follows it. But in actual occurrence, Vitaka and Vichara arise at the same time. Here with this jhana consciousness, Vitaka and Vichara arise at the same time. So what's the difference between Vitaka and Vichara? The commentaries offer various similes to highlight the difference between Vitaka and Vichara. Vitaka is like a bird spreading out its wings to fly. Vichara is like the birds gliding through the air with outstretched wings. Vitaka is like a bird trying to get into the sky, and Vichara is the bird flying through the air with the outspread wings. So nowadays, you may understand you can take an aeroplane, take off is Vitaka, and the plane reaching cruise level is like Vichara. A Vitaka is like a bee diving towards a flower. Vichara is like the bees buzzing above the flower. It is the same thing here. The bee buzzing above the flower is like Vichara. And Vitaka is like the hand that holds a tarnished metal dish. Vichara is like the hand that wipes the dish. If there is something that is dirty and you want to clean it, so you hold it with one hand and with the other hand, holding a cleaning brush, you rub it or clean it. Vitaka is like the hand that holds the dish. Vichara is like the hand that rubs the dish. So there are many similes, birds, the bee, and the hand taking hold, and the other hand rubbing the dish. And other similes are given in the commentaries. It is when a potter makes a pot, he turns round the wheel and makes the pot. When the wheel is turning, he will take hold of the clay with one hand, and then with the other hand, he will shape it or mold it into a pot. Vitaka is like taking hold with one hand, and Vichara is like shaping with the other. Also, when you want to make a circle on the ground, you put a spike in the middle of the ground, attach a rope. At the end of the rope, you put another spike outside. Vitaka is like the spike in the center. Vichara is like the spike outside. So there are many similes given in the commentaries to understand the difference between Vitaka and Vichara. So the third jhana factors is PT. PT is translated in as zest. Others translated it as joy, rapture, happiness, pleasurable interest. There are many translations for this one word, piti. So when yogis start to see the natural phenomena, Namarupa as anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanent, suffering, and non-self, yogi experience piti. There are 5 kinds of piti given in the commentaries. The commentators distinguish 5 grades of piti that arise when yogi developed concentration. The first one is minor piti, kotaka piti, that arises when yogi develop concentration. Another one is momentary piti or khanika piti in Pali. That one is showering piti. In Pali, it is aukantika piti. And number 4 is uplifting piti, ubeka piti in Pali. And number 5 is pervading piti or parana piti in Pali. So there are 5 kinds of piti. Minor piti is able to raise the hairs on the body of the yogis. Sometimes when yogi have piti, yogi may feel goose flesh. The hair stand on end. It is minor piti, the lowest level of piti. The next one is momentary piti. It is like flash of lightning. Once in a while, yogi feel that piti in your body and in your mind. Another piti is showering piti. It breaks over the body again and again like waves on the seashore. Momentary piti may come just once in a while. The showering piti may come more often like waves on the seashore. It's coming to you, and then when it's coming near, it's gone. There is showering. And the 4th one is uplifting piti that may cause the body of the yogi to levitate. In the commentaries, stories are given. The first one is the story of a monk who, by the power of piti, was able to fly through the air in order to reach a pagoda. Another story is about a woman who was pregnant. She was pregnant, and there was a pagoda festival one day. She wanted to go to the pagoda festival, but her parents said, "Oh, my daughter, it is not suitable for you to go to the pagoda festival. You are pregnant. The parents said to their daughter who was pregnant. So the parents and families left her there at home so she could see the festival going on at a distance. She could also hear the Dhamma chanting of the monks at the pagoda. So she was so joyous at seeing and hearing the Dhamma chanting that she got this uplifting kinds of pity. She just flew through the air. And so she reached the pagoda before her parents and was listening to the monks preaching and chanting the sutra. When her parents saw her, they asked, "How you came here?" Then she answered that, "I came through the air." "No, you cannot come back through the air. Only the arhants can fly through the air." The parents said to her, then she said, "I don't know. I was thinking about the pagoda festival going on and I was listening to the Dhamma chanting. Then the next thing I knew, I flew through the air and lighted on the platform of the pagoda," she said. So the uplifting piti can cause the body to move or go up in the air. Some meditators experience the kinds of piti, even though it is not easy to experience uplifting piti, that we levitate the body of the yogi. Yogi may have experienced piti that can lift your body on this side or on the side. Sometimes when yogi practice meditation and have piti, the body may move slightly. The next one is called pervading piti. It pervades the whole body as an inundation face a cavern. In some places, they use the simile cotton, put in the oil. Surgical cotton can absorb oil or water very easily. So they put the cotton in the oil or water and it is absorbed by the cotton like that. This kinds of piti is felt all through the body. So it is pervading piti or like a flood filling a cave. So all these 5 kinds of piti are experienced by meditators at one time or another during the practice of meditation, especially yogi experience when they reach the Udiyabhya Jnana, the knowledge of rise and fall. So in the jhanas, the 5th piti is experienced. A person who is in the state of jhana experience this pervading piti. And the next is sukha. Sukha is translated as happiness. When yogis start to see the true nature of Namarupa, they experience the kinds of happiness. Sukha here means somanasa, not the sukha in ahituka citta. Here sukha means somanasa. Somanasa means vedana, feeling. So here sukha is a feeling. This sukha, happiness, is born of detachment from sensual pleasures. So in order to get jhana, what we have to do, yogi have to avoid sensual pleasures. The sukha is born of detachment from sensual pleasures. So it is explained as niramisa sukha. Niramisa means unworldly happiness or spiritual happiness. So we must understand the difference between piti and sukha. They are very much alike. Piti and sukha arise at the same time, so their difference is difficult to understand. The commentaries have the similes to help us. Though piti and sukha are closely connected, they are distinguished. Piti is not a feeling, although we think piti is feeling. Actually, piti is not feeling. Piti belongs to Saṅkhārakkhandha, aggregates of mental formation. And sukha is a feeling belonging to the aggregates of feeling vedana-khandha. So piti is Saṅkhārakkhandha, aggregates of mental formation, and sukha is vedana-khandha, aggregates of feeling. So we have to know this difference. That is one difference. And piti is compared to the delight of a weary traveler would experience when coming across an oasis. Sukha is his pleasure after bathing and drinking. That is why piti is designated as pleasurable interest. Pleasurable interest is aroused when he sees or he hears about something. So here, a man is traveling on a journey or maybe in a forest, and that traveler is tired and maybe thirsty. And he may meet another person. On the way, he will tell him, there is an oasis or there is a forest with a pond. He will tell him, First, he hear from the man, and then later he may hear the birds, or maybe other people that have been there as he approached that place. All these times he is experiencing pity. Then he reached the place. So at the place he bathes in the pond, he may eat something there, he may rest in the shade of a tree. At that moment, he is experiencing sukha. So piti and sukha are different. Piti is before enjoying. Sukha is enjoying. Before enjoying, you just see, you just hear about something, that is piti. And when you actually enjoy it, there is sukha, because you enjoy it. So there is a difference between piti and sukha, although mostly they arise at the same moment, at the same time, with the same type of consciousness. And the last one is called ekagata. Eka means once and aga means portion. Ekaga means having only one part, having only one portion. That means having only one object. So ekagata means the state of having one object. It is also a mental factors. In other places, it is also called samadhi. So when you say samadhi, you understand it is ekagata. So these 5 factors are highly developed when they reach the state of jhana. These 5 need to be functioning properly, functioning equally. One factor not exceeding the other. When they are functioning properly in harmony, then your mind becomes firm and steady on the object. Then jhana may arise. If vitakka does not take your mind to the object, vichara cannot sustain your mind on the object. And there can be no piti, there can be no sukha and no ekagata. So these 5 support each other. So these are the 5 jhana factors that accompany the first jhana consciousness. So jhana means combination of these 5 factors. Jhana factors mean each one of them, vitakka, vichara, and so on. Jhana consciousness means consciousness accompanied by these 5 factors. So you understand first jhana consciousness. And according to Abhidhamma, there are 5 jhanas, and according to Sotanta, there are 4 jhana. So can you look? Can you see the page? Paper page number 2. So in the paper, there are 5 jhana, that is according to Abhidhamma. So according to Sotanta, there are 4 jhanas. The first jhana, in the first jhana, there are 5 factors: Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. And according to Sotanta, there is second jhana is number 3, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. According to Sotanta, the third jhana is have 2 factors, Sukha and Ekagata. And according to Sotanta, there are 2 factors, Upeka and Ekagata, in the 4th jhana. So need to remember. Can you follow me? According to Sotanta, there are 5 factors in the first jhana. Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. According to Sotanta, there are 3 factors in the second jhana: Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. According to Sotanta, there are 2 factors in the third jhana: Sukha, Ekagata. According to Sotanta, there are 2 factors in the 4th jhana: Upeka and Ekagata. So Ekagata, so 2 method, the Abhidhamma method and Sotanta method. So during the practice of meditation, yogi experience are very similar to the jhana. Yogis start to see the true nature of Namarupa. You distinguish very clearly rising and falling. Rising is movement, and knowing is another one. Falling is softness, and knowing is another one, Nama. Yogis see clearly in every noting. Then yogi noting mind getting better, and before the movement and activities, yogi start to experience, start to capture the intention. And yogi understand the cause and effect relationship in every action. And noting is getting better and very systematic, one after another. And yogis start to comprehend the phenomena. And then yogi reached the stage of sammasana, that is knowledge of comprehension. So at the knowledge of comprehension sammasana jnana, the 5 factors of jhana factors are very clear. Vitaka, the mind directs to an object. The mind is thinking of that present object. That vitaka is clear. And noti mind repeatedly investigate the present object. The kinds of vichara are also coming together. A yogi is satisfied with the present object. This is piti, rapture or thrilling joy. And also another feeling is sukha, happiness or pleasant feeling. A yogi noti mind is concurrent with the object. Most of the noti, it is called one-pointedness. So in every noting, yogi experience are very similar to the first jhana. That is, if yogi truly reach this stage of sammasana jnana, knowledge of comprehension. A yogi continue to practice, and when yogi reach the stage of understanding the knowledge of rise and fall, there's no vitaka and no vichara. Every object just noting, and knowing. So at that moment, whatever object arises, yogi just note and know continuously. At that moment, piti and sukha are extremely arising. So pleasurable in the present object, so elated. Yogi have no wandering. The mind are very stable. So every noting and every experience are very similar to the second jhana, which have 3 factors. Piti, sukha, and ekaggata. That is when yogi reach the weak stage of uddiyabhya jnana. So at that moment, yogi have experienced a lot of light, etc. And piti, sukha are extremely arising. So they are the impediment a yogi need to continue to observe. There is the method, note and reject. Note and reject. And what about the light and light, etc. coming to the yogis? Yogi continue to note and reject and overcome. And the arising and disappearing of the objects are clearly perceived. So there is a strong stage of uddiyabhya jnana. At that moment, no piti at all, only just sukha and ekaggata. No distraction, more calming in every noting. Sukha and ekaggata are continuously coming. So at that moment, yogi experience is very similar to the Thuzana, which has two factors, sukha and ekaggata. Yogi continued to practice. Yogi reached the stage of yogi reached the knowledge of dissolution binganyana. Keep noting and jnana progress. And at that moment, sukha not coming, what clear factors are upekha and ekaggata. Especially when yogi reached the stage of Saṅkhārakkhandha, upekha are more clear. In every noting, upekha and ekaggata, equanimity and one-pointedness, taking over in every noting. So at that moment, yogi's experience is very similar to the fourth jhana, which have two factors, upekha and ekaggata. So you remember when yogi continue accordingly, and when yogi reach the stage of samasana, when yogis start to comprehend the three characteristics, impermanent, suffering, and non-self, yogi stage is very similar to the first jhana. And when yogis see the arising and disappearing of individual objects, at that moment, understanding is very sharp, sati is very firm, and yogi experience is similar to the second jhana. And in the mature Uddiyabhya jnana, yogi understanding is more clear. But at that moment, only just two factors are there, that is sukha and ekaggata. So at this stage, it is similar to the third jhana, and binganyana above, knowledges experience are similar to the fourth jhana, which have two factors, upekha and ekaggata. And sometimes yogi feel the whole body feel empty, material form no appear at all. Yogi feel as if he was in the space. So that is some kinds of jhana, very similar to the jhana of the first arupa jhana. And yogi noti mind is only existing. Only that mind is existing. Yogi have to approach that kinds of mind. Yogi have to focus on that mind. So that experience is very similar to the second arupa jhana. Sometimes yogi have to observe, yogi have to watch nothingness. At that moment, it is very similar to the jhana of that arupa jhana, arupa immaterial jhana. Sometimes appearing consciousness are so subtle that consciousness seems non-existence. So there is one kind of jhana, factor, jhana experience. It is similar to the fourth arupa jhana. So during the practice of meditation, all yogi experience are very clear with the jhana factors. Due to your observation, due to your understanding, due to your sati and pinya strength, you can see the kinds of experience. And why are those Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, and Sukhakata, 5 are called jhana factors, not the others? There are other mental states, phassa, contact, manasikara, attention, and so on. Phassa is not called jhana factors, manasikara is not called jhana factors. Why? Because Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata, these 5 have the ability to contemplate or to examine the object closely, and also because they are the direct opposite of the 5 mental hindrances. For these 2 reasons, only Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata, these 5 are called jhana factors. Vitakas take your mind onto the objects. Vitaka puts your mind onto the present object. And Vichara keeps your mind anchored there. Piti refresh your mind. Sukha manifest. Sukha intensify it. Supported by these 4 chaittasika, Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, and Sukha, taking your mind to the objects, keeping it there, refreshing and intensify it, then ekagata, one-pointedness of mind, put your mind on the object evenly and undistractedly. So ekagata can do this function properly only when it is supported by the other 4, Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, and Sukha. When ekagata puts your mind on the object, it puts it on evenly. That means it makes the mental faculty work in harmony, one not exceeding the other. Also, when it puts your mind on the objects, it does not allow it to be distracted to other objects. It is actually Ekagata which is most important among these 5 factors. Ekagata cannot do its function properly if it is not supported by the other 4, Vitaka, Vichara, etc. So these 5 possess the ability to observe the object closely or to examine the object closely. That is why the answer, Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata alone are called jhana factors, not the Phassa, Manasikara, other Chetasika that go along with jhana consciousness. So what jhana factors suppress other mental states? Vitaka suppress Tinamida. When you apply Vitaka, your Vitaka direct your mind to the object, so you're not sleepy, you have no sloth and trouble. And if you repeatedly investigate the object, if you apply Vichara, sustained application, there's no doubt about the object. Objects are clear, so you have no doubt. So Vichara suppress, Vichikecha doubt. And then when you satisfy with the object, when you have piti suppress what? Piti suppress ill will. Ill will is something disliking, ill will. Now you have piti, you satisfy with the present object, so ill will is removed. And when you have sukha, pleasantness, it can remove restlessness and remorse. And you are stable you stay in the object for that moment. When you have ekagata, when you have concentration, you do not follow other sensual objects, sensual desire. You do not follow other sight, sound, etc. So if you have ekagata, you can suppress sensual desire. So need to remember that the is suppressing mental states. Vitaka suppress tinamida, sloth and torpor. Vichara suppress vichikecha, doubt. Piti suppress vyavada, ill, sukha suppress oticha and gogocha, restlessness and remorse. Ekagata suppress kamicchanda, sensual desire. So your jhana factors are working to suppress all the mental hindrances. So need to remember, can you follow me? Vitaka suppress tinamida. Vitaka suppress tinamida, sloth and torpor. Vichara suppress vichikecha, skeptical doubt. Vichara suppress vichikecha, skeptical doubt. Piti suppress a will, vyabhada. Piti suppress a will, vyabhada. Sukha suppress uddhacca and gogocha, restlessness and remorse. Sukha suppress, Udija and Gogoja, restlessness and remorse. Ekagata suppress, Kamicchanda, sensual desire. Ekagata suppress, Kamicchanda, sensual desire. So ekagata, you stay in the object for that moment, so that for certain period, and you do not follow any other objects, any other sound, sight, etc. Sensual objects are removed because you stay in that one object. And then upeka also suppress odija and gogoja, restlessness and remorse. So we continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing vipassana meditation, by developing jhana factors, vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata, and upeka, may you suppress all mental hindrances by noting, rising, falling, sitting, touching, hearing, seeing, continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.